Life is a long, agonized illness only curable by death. An item is only worth what someone is willing to pay for.
Sometimes, when hardships knock, it's just life. Do not take it personal.
Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexations to the spirit. Just when you think it can't get any worse, it can. And just when you think it can't get any better, it can. When you're too tired and feel like giving up on life, sit down and ponder over the journey of water.
If the mind is willing, the flesh could go on and on without many things.
Be the kind of person who dares to face life's challenges and overcome them, rather than dodging them. We can't go back and change what happened. It's what we do next that matters. The revolution is not an apple that falls when ripe. You have to make it fall. It is better to remain silent at the risk of being thought a fool than to talk and remove all doubt of it.
When you take control of your attitude, you take control of your life.
If you hear how wonderful you are, often enough, you begin to believe it, no matter how you try to resist it. Don't let yesterday take up too much of today. Autumn is a place where words fall short. It is a magic that must be felt, breathed, experienced, and treasured. Regardless of how black the page, he had always managed to turn it and move on to a new chapter in his life. I want to drag knives over my skin, just to feel something other than shame, but I'm not even brave enough for that. It's no use going back to yesterday because I was a different person then. Don't quit. Nothing lasts forever, not even pain. We never know which lives we influence or when or why. We can accept and embrace our pasts as part of the path that shaped who we are now. You never change your life until you step out of your comfort zone. Change begins at the end, your comfort zone.
Just because it's fiction doesn't mean it's any less true.
In the midst of difficulties, we are always ready to seize an advantage. We may extricate ourselves from misfortune.
Remember to be kind with your words, especially to yourself.
You must have someone in your circle who you can bounce off your ideas without being dissuaded.
But truly, if I were not Alexander, I would be Diogenes.
We must let go of the life we have planned so as to accept the one that is waiting for us. Truth strikes us from behind and in the dark, as well as from before and in broad daylight. In life there are two things which are dependable: the pleasures of the flesh and the pleasures of literature.
It's failure that gives you the proper perspective on success.
Turn your wounds into wisdom.
I never trust frank and simple people whose stories hold together. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished.
The reason why the universe is eternal is that it does not live for itself. It gives life to others as it transforms. Your deepest, darkest moment may be the best thing that ever happens to you. Learn to heal without venting to everyone. It is during our failures that we discover our true desire for success. In order to succeed, your desire for success should be greater than your fear of failure.
People, in general, would rather die than forgive. It's that hard.
Dreaming of a life not lived, but holding on to the fantasy, because the scars of reality still sting the heart. In order to make a precise decision, keep a steady spiritual connection. There would be no society if living together depended upon understanding each other. If you care about someone enough, you'll always be there for them, no matter what. Intelligence is more important than strength. That is why Earth is ruled by men and not by animals.
A seed neither fears light nor darkness, but uses both to grow.
Fear is a probability by its own cause of actions. If we live by it, we lose all the possibilities of endurance. Care about what other people think, and you will always be their prisoner. There may be times when we are powerless to prevent injustice, but there must never be a time when we fail to protest. If you feel obsessed to prove something to the world, then you need world attention to be able to prove it.
If a man takes no thought about what is distant, he will find sorrow near at hand.
A great many people always think they are thinking when they are merely rearranging their prejudices.
I believe in looking reality straight in the eye and denying it.
To know how much there is to know is the beginning of learning to live. The difference between greed and ambition is a greedy person desires things he isn't prepared to work for.
Being born is like being kidnapped and then sold into slavery. I can't go into detail, but it's why I went to the special meeting at the Pentagon.
I would rather die of passion than of boredom.
Judging is the cause that creates the effect of choosing. Faster, faster, until the thrill of speed overcomes the fear of death.
We are the cosmos made conscious, and life is the means by which the universe understands itself.
The greatest step towards a life of simplicity is to learn to let go. Don't be afraid of failure. This is the way to succeed.
When I explored my deeper mind, I could understand that my life is only an illusion, an apparent reality. Everything in this world happens with a purpose. You are born in this world with a purpose. You are chosen by purpose. The happiness of the drop is to die in the river. Life is a waste of time, and time is a waste of life. So let's all get wasted and have the time of our lives.
The fear of appearances is the first symptom of impotence.
To avoid disappointment, expect nothing from nobody. Being ourselves was the easiest path to choose, although not the easiest to see through till the end. The simple step of a courageous individual is not to take part in the lie. One word of truth outweighs the world. The person you hurt the most in this world was the person that brought you into it. Life is a series of surprises and would not be worth taking or keeping if it were not.
Where you are in a few months depends on what you do today. No matter how good you get, you can always get better, and that's the exciting part. Success usually comes to those who are too busy looking for it.
I just want someone to hear what I have to say, and maybe if I talk long enough, it'll make sense.
We must meet the challenge rather than wish it were not before us.
Successful people enjoy the journeys they embark on, irrespective of whether they reach their destination or not. If your feet are firmly planted on the ground, you'll never be able to dance. Courage is feeling fear, not getting rid of fear, and taking action in the face of fear. I had to learn to live without you, and I couldn't make sense of it because I left so much of me inside of you.
You don't put your life into your books. You find it there.
Faith is believing in something you know isn't true.
All men can see these tactics whereby I conquer, but what none can see is the strategy out of which victory is evolved.
I felt lonely and content at the same time. I believe that is a rare kind of happiness.
There are few reasons for telling the truth, but for lying, the number is infinite.
Worrying about losing is losing before you begin. With faith, discipline, and selfless devotion to the duty, there is nothing worthwhile that you cannot achieve. Sometimes we're tested not to show our weaknesses, but to discover our strengths. One day can change your life, one day can ruin your life. All life is 3 or 4 big days that change everything.
If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough.
Edit your life frequently and ruthlessly. It's your masterpiece after all.
Death is so terribly final, while life is full of possibilities.
I would rather die an individual than live my life as a clone. A serious and good philosophical work could be written consisting entirely of jokes. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will.
It's faith in something and enthusiasm for something that makes a life worth living.
What you do not wish upon yourself, extend not to others.
It is a very natural human trait to destroy that which frightens us.
Help others without any reason and give without the expectation of receiving anything in return. You don't have the right to complain about your life if you're not willing to change it.
Whatever you believe with feeling becomes your reality.
You do the same as me or my generation, you will get the same results. BEBOLD, go against the grain. I didn't come here of my own accord, and I can't leave that way. Whoever brought me here will have to take me home. Every comforting word is a command from a man of action, while every word of command is commotion from a man of just words. Hold out baits to entice the enemy, feign disorder, and crush him. I'm sorry for my inability to let unimportant things go, for my inability to hold on to the important things. Though all men be equally frail before the world, the differences between them are terrifying. You have to be transparent, so you no longer cast a shadow, but instead let the light pass through you. Some roses grow through concrete, remember that.
I should have based my judgment upon deeds and not words.
Every single person is sacred. Sacred means special, precious, a treasure of true beauty. That means you. You just keep pushing. You just keep pushing. I made every mistake that could be made, but I just kept pushing. At first, they'll only dislike what you say, but the more correct you start sounding, the more they'll dislike you. It's a lie to think you're not good enough. It's a lie to think you're not worth anything.
Gratitude is best refined through the fires of adversity.
What you perceive as a failure today may actually be a crucial step towards the success you seek. Never give up. I like shape very much. A novel has to have shape, and life doesn't have any. The more I read, the more I acquire, the more certain I am that I know nothing. Every beginner possesses a great potential to be an expert in his or her chosen field. Life might take you down different roads, but each of you gets to decide which one to take. No one human being knows the full truth about another human being, not even one's nearest and dearest. The pure present is an ungraspable advance of the past devouring the future. In truth, all sensation is already memory. It is more shameful to distrust our friends than to be deceived by them.
If you want to see a rainbow, you have to learn to see the rain.
When you go down in flames, let it be a blaze that illuminates your path forward, guiding you towards a new beginning. Never give up on anybody. Miracles happen every day.
I have never known any distress that an hour's reading did not relieve.
Learn from stars. Even in the dark they give off light, not despair. Whoever cannot seek the unforeseen sees nothing, for the known way is an impasse.
If you dare nothing, then when the day is over, nothing is all you will have gained.
A man, though wise, should never be ashamed of learning more, and must unbend his mind.
No one dies of fatal truths nowadays. There are too many antidotes.
You can't stay in your corner of the forest waiting for others to come to you. You have to go to them sometime. Have patience. All things are difficult before they become easy.
Believe those who are seeking the truth. Doubt those who find it.
Life will never conform to all of our desires, ever. We all take a different path to the same place. Why we took the path we did will always be a mystery.
The reason why the universe is eternal is that it does not live for itself. It gives life to others as it transforms.
The quest for meaning is the key to mental health and human flourishing. Don't be bothered by the things you can't change. Instead, focus on how to make your life better. The best way to prepare for life is to begin to live. The heart has its reasons which reason knows nothing of. We know the truth not only by the reason, but by the heart. Train your mind to be stronger than your feelings. You take people, you put them on a journey, you give them peril, you find out who they really are. You are the magic code that unlocks your happiness.
To understand the limitation of things, desire them.
It takes sunshine and rain to make a rainbow. There would be no rainbows without sunshine and rain. Stand up and walk. Move on. After all, you have perfect legs to stand on. One of the most important things in life is family. If your origin is bad, it will affect your future negatively. In my opinion, our healthcare system has failed when a doctor fails to treat an illness that is treatable. If you want something you've never had, you must be willing to do something you've never done.
The truth isn't always beauty, but the hunger for it is. People ought to fight to keep their law as to defend the city's walls. You are in charge of your own happiness. You don't need to wait for other people's permission to be happy.
Those who are wise won't be busy, and those who are too busy can't be wise. It's no use going back to yesterday, because I was a different person then. Where joy grows deep, sorrow must deepen. The greater one's pleasures, the greater the pain. I have never seen or heard of such a fish, but I must kill him. I am glad we do not have to try to kill the stars. You can go your whole life collecting days, and none will outweigh the one you wish you had back. When it resonates and you feel it, then it was meant for you. Life is a journey that necessitates progress. Keep moving, because each step brings you closer to your goals.
I very rarely think in words at all. A thought comes, and I may try to express it in words afterwards.
Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. Life is too short or too long for me to allow myself the luxury of living it so badly. It is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy in creative expression and knowledge.
In business, professionalism is not a tactic, but a moral value.
When the actions becomes frequent than the words, success becomes heavier than the dreams. Do more, say less.
Our attitude toward life determines life's attitude towards us. We don't receive wisdom, we must discover it for ourselves. All men know the use of the useful, but nobody knows the use of the useless. When you are ignorant of the enemy, but know yourself, your chances of winning or losing are equal. Light in your mind is better than darkness in your soul.
Life's like a movie. Write your own ending. Keep believing, keep pretending. Human life is but a series of footnotes. to a vast, obscure, unfinished masterpiece. Those who have failed to work toward the truth have missed the purpose of living.
What the superior man seeks is in himself. What the small man seeks is in others.
As if you could kill time without injuring eternity. If a man empties his purse into his head, no one can take it from her. Great is truth, but still greater from a practical point of view is silence about truth.
When you procrastinate, you become a slave to yesterday. Therefore, just as water retains no constant shape, so in warfare there are no constant conditions.
Your conscience is the measure of the honesty of your selfishness. Listen to it carefully.
Ability will never catch up with the demand for it.
Even if people do not understand you, at least they do not possess the same ability as your bizarre uniqueness. Every day is a bank account, and time is our currency. No one is rich, no one is poor. We've got 24 hours each. Every person must choose how much truth he can stand. For the world is in a bad state, but everything will become still worse unless each of us does his best. Be a life long or short, its completeness depends on what it was lived.
For any sin, we all suffer. That is why our suffering is endless.
Those guys who want to have the mohawk, which to me is the new business casual.
If you don't build your own dream, someone will hire you to build bears. If I can stop one heart from breaking, I shall not live in vain.
Reason is the power or capacity whereby we see or detect logical relationships among propositions. Embrace the truth that joy does not happen to us. It reflects our mindset and choices.
I could die for you, but I couldn't and wouldn't live for you. In order to form an immaculate member of a flock of sheep, one must, above all, be a sheep.
Never feel shame for trying and failing, for he who has never failed is he who has never tried. There are no shortcuts to any place worth going. The best way to predict your future is to create it.
When the enemy is relaxed, make them toil. When full, starve them. When settled, make them move.
No, that is the great fallacy, the wisdom of old men. They do not grow wise, they grow careful. Dripping water hollows out stone, not through force but through persistence. The healing starts at the mountain, but you need the river to wash the pain away. One does no question miracles, or complain that they are no constructed perfectly to one's liking. There is one who remembers the way to your door. Life you may evade, but death you shall not. Taking on too much of other people's drama is just a poor excuse for not taking ownership and control over your own life. Life has many different chapters for us. One bad chapter doesn't mean it's the end of the book. The opinion which other people have of you is their problem, not yours.
Don't chase. Elevate your game and be someone worth chasing after.
The act of taking the first step is what separates the winners from the losers.
Search of truth is actually a search of strength to handle the truth.
When you make the dream of your heart a treasure of heaven, it holds an eternal value.
I've never seen anything as bright as the rays of kindness.
I said somebody should do something about that. Then I realized I am somebody. There is strange comfort in knowing that no matter what happens today, the sun will rise again tomorrow. The demon that you can swallow gives you its power, and the greater life's pain, greater life's reply.
Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. Winning isn't enough. The acme of all skill is to defeat your enemy before taking the field.
If you're not falling down occasionally, you are just coasting.
Some things in life are too complicated to explain in any language. And remember, no matter where you go, there you are.
You may be good, but that doesn't make me bad. You may be intelligent, but that doesn't make me a fool. The ones who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Life always begins with one step outside of your comfort zone.
The elegance under pressure is the result of fearlessness.
Believe in yourself and all that you are. Know that there is something inside you that is greater than any obstacle. It is more important to out-hink your enemy than to outfight. We can only see a short distance ahead, but we can see plenty there that needs to be done. I feel like a big faker because I've been putting my life back together and nobody knows. No power on earth, if it labors beneath the burden of fear, and possibly be strong enough to survive. Even if no salvation should come, I want to be worthy of it at every moment. To see what is right and not do it is the worst cowardice.
Don't share your personal life with anyone. Do not let anyone have anything that could harm you.
It's harder to make the glass than break the glass. What we like to think of ourselves and what we really are rarely have much in common.
If truth doesn't set you free, generosity of spirit will.
There are some things that it is better to begin than to refuse, even though the end may be dark. It is an ironic habit of human beings to run faster when they have lost their way.
The trick is to enjoy life. Don't wish away your days, waiting for better ones ahead. As soon as you trust yourself, you will know how to live.
A day without laughter is like living in darkness. You try to find your way around, but you can't see clearly.
When you know what you want, and you want it bad enough, you'll find a way to get it. Deal with your past so that it won't affect your future.
I need to stop fantasizing about running away to some other life and start figuring out the one I have. We cannot face up to what lies ahead without facing up to what lies within. Of course, there is no formula for success, except perhaps an unconditional acceptance of life and what it brings. Watch for the thing that will show itself to you, because that thing, when you find it, will be your future. Never do anything that you can't admit doing, because if you are that ashamed of whatever it is, it's probably wrong. The two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. Never apologize for showing feeling. When you do so, you apologize for the truth. If a man is to live, he must be all alive, body, soul, mind, heart, spirit. You will never be able to escape from your heart, so it's better to listen to what it has to say. Of all sad words of tongue or pen, the saddest are these: "It might have been." Beware of those who are bitter, for they will never allow you to enjoy your fruit. Rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life. I have no ambition to govern men. It is a painful and thankless office. Thou shalt not be a victim, thou shalt not be a perpetrator, but above all, thou shalt not be a bystander. If you don't want anyone to know about your existence, you might as well kill yourself. You're taking up space, air. Perhaps I know best why it is man alone who laughs. He alone suffers so deeply that he had to invent laughter. If you try and lose, then it isn't your fault. But if you don't try and we lose, then it's all your fault. If you wish to make Pythocles rich, do not add to his store of money, but subtract from his desires.
How people treat you is their karma. How you react is yours.
Truly, it is in the darkness that one finds a light. My experiences have taught me that things rarely improve with a simple change of scenery.
The superior man thinks always of virtue. The common man thinks of comfort.
The truth always carries the ambiguity of the words used to express it. You are at your strongest when you are calm. If you change who you are to suit other people, you may end up dressed for the wrong occasion. The only true failure is allowing fear of failure to prevent you from acting and pursuing your dreams. To capture an enemy's army is better than to destroy it. The man of wisdom is never of two minds. The man of benevolence never worries. The man of courage is never afraid. Whoever said that the past isn't dead had it backward. It's the future that's already dead, already played out.
Follow your heart. You may go astray, but your life will find its direction somehow.
The most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any.
Nothing makes a person happier than having a happy heart.
Always find opportunities to make someone smile and to offer random acts of kindness in everyday life. If you can't feel gratitude when you are in need, the feeling of the need would never leave you, even if it is fulfilled. There's only one day at a time here, then it's tonight, and then tomorrow will be today again. Time heals almost everything. Give it time.
Build your opponent a golden bridge to retreat across.
Sometimes, as we're stumbling along in the dark, we hit something good. Closed in a room, my imagination becomes the universe, and the rest of the world is missing out.
Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change.
Problems are not stop signs, they are guidelines. You think intelligence and grit can succeed by themselves, but I'm telling you that's a pretty illusion.
Life is not measured by what you have. It's measured by what you give. Savor everything. Cling to nothing. Live now, because living then won't be any better. You're thinking about something, and it makes you forget to talk. People throw stones at you, and you convert them into milestones.
He that can have patience can have what he will. A man must not be without shame, for the shame of being without shame is shamelessness indeed. Life doesn't just happen to you. You receive everything in your life based on what you've given. Don't ruin a good today by thinking about a bad yesterday. Let it go. Positive anything is better than negative nothing. Life is about accepting the challenges along the way, choosing to keep moving forward, and savoring the journey. Accidents don't happen to people who take accidents as a personal insult. Success seems to be largely a matter of hanging on after others have let go.
You must let suffering speak if you want to hear the truth.
Once you realize you deserve a bright future, letting go of your dark past is the best choice you will ever make.